the OPC presented a paper. Well, there was a paper presented to the OPC, to the General Assembly. And, why can't I find it here? Well, I had it open in the other, okay, it can't be that far back. Well, it can be, I suppose. And it was on the subject of the free offer of the gospel. And there were two sides presented. They weren't as far apart as some people would like to think they were, but it raises the issues in a pretty clear way. And it also deals with 2 Peter 3:9, some of the texts that are relevant at that point that we will get into in that section. So I'm dealing with the two sides of the same coin, in essence, dealing with the dangers of hyper-Calvinism, but also responding to those who say, if you hold to a high Calvinism, then it inevitably results in, it inevitably results in hyper-Calvinism, which it does not. So it was 1948. So this is support. This is a report submitted to the 15th General Assembly of the OPC in 1948. It is taken from the minutes, appendix, pages 51 through 72. It's available at opc.org if you want to look it up. If you want to have it on your iPad or something for my presentation, or read it beforehand, or whatever else it might be. It is a very interesting and useful article, and if you want to be prepared for that presentation. And then there's going to be a Q&A that I'm going to be involved with. I think me and John Sampson will be doing, which is appropriate given how many times John has sat here, I suppose, that we will be doing that. So that's what we'll be doing at ReformCon this, that's what we plan to be doing. Fact of the matter is, I mentioned to Jeff Durbin last week, have something hiding in your pocket, because, these bodies, they are what they are. And things happen. So we'll see. We'll hopefully be able to do what we need to do this coming ReformCon. One other thing, and I'm not sure how much time I'll spend on this, but I have mentioned more than once. I will tell the story. There are people watching this program right now, and the only reason they're watching is because they are obsessed with trying to find ways of attacking yours truly. There are people doing that. I am thankful the vast majority of folks watching the program are watching the program, listening to the program, because they appreciate the things that we're going to be talking about, and they like a discussion from a Christian worldview. Some of you work in situations where it's actually a joy for you to get to listen to a program where you're never going to hear a profanity. You work in an environment where that's all around you, and it's actually a treat to be able to listen to something where you're not going to be assaulted by what you're hearing. But there are a couple of you, and some of you are Muslims. I saw a video, I didn't watch it, but I saw a link to a video a couple days ago. Certain Muslims, not all, thankfully, but certain Muslims that just, I don't know, I can't imagine a life where you sit around watching the dividing line just looking for a way to piece things together, to take cheap shots at me, but you know who you are, and I know who you are. And I pity you. I really do pity you. I mean, if you happened to post stuff online where you addressed even a small portion of the number of topics and the breadth of topics that we talk about here, I can't imagine what it would be like for me to be sitting around investing my time watching your stuff to try to find some way of taking shots at you. I can't understand it. And I feel really sorry for people like that. I really do. It must be sad. But there are Christians who do the same thing. There are Christians who do the same thing. I'm not talking about the nutty folks in monasteries in upstate New York who clearly have way too much time on their hands, which may tell you something about monasteries. But there are actually Christians. What did I do? Join here twice? Yes, I guess I joined twice, didn't I? There we go. There, I just disconnected. Am I still here? Still here? Yes, okay. Anyway, there are Christians who basically act like stalkers. And I guess I can understand this one, and it's Rich's fault. Okay, I'm just going to be upfront about it. It's Rich's fault. I did a debate last year in Dallas, and we talked about it briefly, I think, afterwards on the program. Probably the week I got back, just did a report on it and moved on from there. But some other people continue to talk about it, and therefore it's sort of like, what are those little animals you're not supposed to feed after midnight or something? They're really cute and snuggly, and then you feed them after midnight, and that's what we've got here. So, gremlins, is that what it is? Okay. Very tall gremlins. So, on the 28th of May, so just a few days ago, a certain recent graduate with a D-Min degree from New Orleans Baptist Theological Seminary, where you're going to get pretty much one perspective on Calvinism anyways, posted an article on Facebook. It was on Saturday. And on Saturday is when Justin Brierley releases the audio from the Unbelievable radio broadcast. And as you recall, when I was in London, we did two programs. We did the program with John Sanders on open theism. And then afterwards, we recorded a Grill James White program where